So whenever you enter into these situations where someone feels like, I don't know if you're capable, to your point, it's almost like, it's like a little he moment, like, you don't even know what I can do. Like, I'm going to have to show you.
You don't need to know what I can bring. I'm just about to show you because I got something for that, right? Like, so we're going to start this thing, all right.
Welcome to Tip on Top of the Tip. I am Zenitra Perry.
And I am INEZ Chimangariso. Yes, okay.
So, as we do every other Friday, we kick things off with a work value. So I'm going to throw it in our little randomizer and see what we come up with. Okay, so today's work value is security.
Okay, so I'll start with what security means to me. So when I think about in work, right, a scenario that comes to mind is I have worked for multiple companies that have experienced layoffs, right? And during those times, I never felt at risk. And this is why. When I am secure in the value that I bring to an organization and to my team, I'm not necessarily worried about being let go. And I don't know if it's like, it might be naivety, but I really feel like it's based on security. Like, I feel like even my current company, we experienced layoffs, and like a lot of the team was like, should we be looking for jobs? And that never even crossed my mind, because there's a level of, I know what I bring here. I know what I do here. I know that what I'm giving, nobody else is giving. I know the value that I have to my manager. And so I feel very secure. Like, there's no questioning. And if it does happen, right, like, I'm not worried, because again, I know the value that I can bring to any team, to any organization. So I feel very secure in my skill set. I feel very secure in, my ability to find the next thing, but I also feel very secure here. And so I'm not worried about anybody taking my position. I'm not worried about, anybody questioning, what I bring to the organization. I'm just steadfast, right, in where I am and what I bring. What about you?
Well, initially, when I saw security, I thought about job security, but more so from a stability of the company perspective, because change is always happening. Change is happening in the industry. It's happening in the economy. And it's like, I want to know that the company that I work for is prepared and can successfully navigate those different changes. I worked for one company for 16 years. So I definitely felt secure. And there were definitely moments where we were going through layoffs. But I felt secure in the company, like as a brand. And I felt that company was going to be around for a long time. I think I would be hesitant to like go to a startup, because for me that like, it's too risky, right? It could go well, it could pop off and be great, but on the other end, like, sorry, it didn't go well, and now you're out here looking for a job. So when I thought about security initially, it was from the perspective of, the company and is the company a longstanding organization? Are they able to successfully navigate change? And that's what comes up first. And then following that was like about my own individual job security. And I 100% agree with you. Like, I know that when I go into an organization, I'm going to be giving my all 100% of the time, right? And so I create value for myself within the organization. I build relationships with the people that I need to build the relationships with. And if it so happened that my time comes to be laid off, then I know that that is just my time in life to go on and do something else. So I definitely never walked around with a fear of like, am I going to lose my job? Even, like I said, we've had 3 or 4 layoffs while I was, with the organization. And the last one, which I was ultimately downsized, but even during that time, there was never any fear on my part. And then I think about, as a leader, the teams that I'm leading and what security do they have, right? So especially when you're thinking about more junior employees where they've only been with the company for a short amount of time, they have less experience. There was a lot of angst and anxiety on their part. And so as a leader, you know, it's your job to make sure that you're communicating as much as possible with them, as much as you can, understanding what their fears are, giving them space to address it. And I always said that as a leader, my job was to prepare you for whatever is next. So whether you leave by force or by choice, make sure that the time that you spent here is valuable and you get to walk into whatever your next is with confidence. So security as a leader for me, it's like, how do I build that security? How do I build up that confidence? How do I make sure my teams reflect that value that you know that you bring? I want to make sure that my team has that confidence and that they're doing meaningful work so that they feel secure in the work that they're doing. And if it so happened to be, because nobody asked me who was going to get laid off,
right?
If it happens to be, you know, my time or their time to depart from the organization, they can leave securely knowing that they are skilled and equipped for whatever their next is.
Yeah. That I love that. I think that is a tenet of great leadership, is to prepare your team for whatever is to come. And, you know, one of the things that I want to point out is that security, to me, whether it's professional or not, has to come from within you as a person. Yep. Right. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in looking for security externally. Right. And if you don't generate the energy and the confidence of security within you, you will always be grasping for what's going to make you feel secure, and never really truly embody it. So like, I think one of the things that allows me to feel secure in my job is the fact that I generate that internally. Like I do the internal work. I do the personal development. I do the thought work. I coach myself. I'm always building me up and really getting in tune to who I am and leaning into and embodying who I am, so that who I am and what I bring and the value I bring and, you know, the security I have in my skill set and these things is not tied to the company I work for, is not tied to the man that I'm with, is not tied to the people I'm around. Like, it's not tied to anybody. And that has taken work. Okay, like that has taken work. But I realize that it's such a better way to live because I'm never grasping for who can provide that solid foundation for me.
I absolutely love that. I think about being secure versus being insecure when I think about, you know, just individuals all the time. And I hadn't really linked secure to security. Like, are you secure in who you are as a person? Again, in the value that you bring and knowing that you can make decisions with new information. That new information may be you're getting laid off. Like, again, how secure are you with who you are and kind of how you show up in the workplace, how you show up in the world? So to your point, you're not grasping for things to make you feel secure. I think that was a moment where I was like, oh, yeah, like I don't want to feel secure. I want to be secure. In order to be secure, like I have to be my own foundation for that.
Yes.
So that was really good. I love that.
Yes.
I love
that. So y'all ready to get into this tip?
Let's get into the tip on top of the tip of the day.
Y'all, like this one is a good one. Okay. And it has been long standing in our 30+ year friendship. Okay. I don't even know where it originated from. And maybe Zeno, because she be remembering stuff that I don't. But the tip for today is brace yourselves. And I just slipped my mind. Hold up. Wait. I got something for that. That's what it is. I was like, wait a minute, because I'm thinking about two different ones. Yes, I got something for that. So, Z, talk about what I got something for that means to you.
So it's so funny because you talk about the origins, and half the time I don't know the origins because a lot of times I'm over here freestyling because apparently I was a rapper in a former life, and I just be dropping these bars on you, and you grab hold to it, and then
I'm like,
right. But I got something for that. I don't remember where it originated, but I know the times when it comes up. This is when you're being challenged at work, not facing a challenge, but being challenged. Meaning someone that's either on your team that reports into you or someone that you report into, for some reason, has some doubt about your capabilities to do a thing, to complete a project, to lead something. And they use certain words that let you know that they don't really think you can do it, right? And so it's one of those moments where you're kind of taken aback, like, who are you talking to? You know what? I got something for that.
Exactly.
It's you tapping into like, oh, I know that I can do this. I know that you don't think that I can, but not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to do it at a level where you've never saw it coming. And you are going to sing my praises because I know that you doubt me. Like, how dare you doubt me after all I've done? I got something for that, right?
Yes.
So it's and that happens, right? Like, good boss, bad boss. It's not even about, these bad managers, but there just may be situations where it could be a client where they don't really, have the confidence that you can do a thing, but you have to whip out your, you know what, I got something for that. And you go into your back trips and you pull together the solution that's really going to blow their minds away.
Yes. I'm like, so this is like, I got something for that is when you put the battery in your own back. Okay. Like, it's like, wait a minute, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Like, I feel like it's like, you feel like I'm a C, but what you don't know is I'm like an A plus, and I'm about to bring A plus, because I just been riding on C right now. Like, right. I might've been riding on B and you thought I was a C, right? But I'm really an A plus. Like, so here it is. I use it, and it's funny because we use it like it's like an up level. Like, we use it as an up level because you can use it in a professional scenario where somebody is doubting it's also a way of like holding each other to another level too, or even like bringing another level of insight into a conversation or to a situation, right? So we may know like just how much competency and how much insight each other may be able to provide in a certain situation, but being like, I got something for that, like literally allows you to like add another level of insight and be like, oh girl, like kind of like we did earlier. Like, oh girl, I didn't even think about this. Like, yep, I got something for that. Like, like it's important because again, it stems from your internal security and confidence, right? About like what you bring to the table, right? And also knowing that just because someone else doubts you or doesn't see how exceptional you really are, doesn't mean that you have to take that on, right? And you don't even have to feel upset, right? You don't even have to be upset about it. It's okay. You don't need to know my level, right? You don't need to know what I can bring. I'm just about to show you because I got something for that, right? Like, because a lot of times when people feel like put off by people who they work with or their managers, they get into the anger piece. Like, how dare he? But it's like, no, like, don't worry. We got something for that. Like,
it's amazing because we are all so many things, right? And our job typically gives us a particular thing to be skilled at, and forget that our teammates, our leaders, they don't know all of the facets of who we are. Especially if you think, to companies where you aren't even really allowed to express your interests outside of work. They want work to be your life. And so people don't know that you do all of these other things, whether you're involved in things in your community, your church, sorority, fraternities. There's so many different ways where you can take on different roles, different leadership positions that you may not show up as or get a chance to display those skill sets and those competencies at work, but you know that you're capable of doing them just the situation hasn't presented itself for you to be able to show it. So whenever you enter into these situations where someone feels like, I don't know if you're capable, to your point, it's almost like, it's like a little he moment, like, you don't even know what I can do. Like, I'm going to have to show you, that I've been doing this for X, Y, and Z years, or I've been working on that outside of the job. But it really is like, your confidence booster, your accelerator, to be like, oh, okay, I know that I'm about to deliver something that's going to be so excellent. It's really going to blow their minds, especially when they had low expectations of me. But that whole being doubted, I know that's one thing that fuels me. Let somebody tell me I can't do something.
Child.
I got something for that. Okay.
I do.
I remember doing like kind of these different, in my coaching practice, when I was going through my certification, it's kind of like a life review, and they kind of bucket into different categories, different age groups. And you call out 3 highlights from each of those age groups. And then at the end, you try to find like, what are the similarities? And for me, in every single one of those age categories, there was a time where someone told me that like, I wouldn't be able to do something. And so before we came up with, I got something for that, I have been living, I got something for that lifestyle from, where I wanted to attend college. I applied to one school and one school only, because that's where I was going. My counselors were having a fit. They're just like, oh my gosh, you got it. And I was like, no, like, that's where I'm going. What if you don't get in? But I'm going to get in. What if you don't get any money? No, I'm going to get a scholarship. I'm going to get a full ride. And I did that. But they just, anytime people, they don't believe, when I was making a transition from accounting over to marketing, right? I think I told the story about, I had that one manager that was like, accounting people don't have marketing skills and marketing people don't have accounting skills.
However,
for that, like I'm going to show you that I can. I'm going to show you that, what I'm capable of doing. And a lot of times, or sometimes, it comes from their own self-doubt.
Oh, always.
It's not even about you, right? So that's why, to your point, you never have to go to that place of anger. It's just like, okay, now's my opportunity to show improve, and I'm really gonna show up in a really big way. But yeah, we're always gonna have those moments where people don't believe that you can, because they haven't seen it, or maybe it's never even been done. But you have to be able to tap into that security, know all of the different skill sets that you have, and be able to pull them together so that you can really show up and show out in the situation where they thought that you couldn't do it.
I'm thinking about what brings the energy of, I got something that, because sometimes it's what you're being challenged in may be something new for you.
True.
Right. It may be something that, you've never done before, or you don't feel confident in, but I got something for that comes from there, is knowing that you have solved so many things before, right? And so even if it's something new and it's something that you don't feel like you got something for, right? It's something that is not familiar. What is required, and I feel like we've talked about this before, is that you tap into, like, even if I don't know, somebody knows. And the something I have is to be able to go and be able to get what the people know, right? And be able to source that information and then make it my own, and turn it into whatever flower or a thing that I'm gonna have to present to somebody or do for somebody. Like, when I think about I'm in a current, I got something for that situation where I know that I am not only at the level that I should be in my position, but I am exceptional. Like, I just know that I'm exceptional. And so in approaching trying to get to the next level, right, it's not something I've ever done before. Right. I've never tried to approach the next level. Like, how do I level up, like, in my position? And I don't really, and it has been a very it's been a very uncomfortable process, because I'm like, I don't know, where to step, where to kind of lean back, who to go to, how to approach this conversation. However, I'm like, anytime I am met with obstacles based on maybe I didn't approach it correctly, or maybe I don't have my stuff documented the way I need to, like, I'm always in the mindset of, I got something for that. Google what I need to do. Like it's because it's going to happen. Right. And I think that's what you were talking about. It's like, you have to have a knowing that even if it hasn't been done before by somebody else, even if they don't believe in your ability to do it, even if you even have a hint of doubt, even if you haven't done it before, you got something for that. At the end of the day, like, you do have something for that. You just have to pull it outside of you and allow yourself to be your own mentor on that journey to the next thing, or whatever it is that you need to bring, so that you can, level up, show them what you got.
Yes, I think this ties in perfectly with security being the value for today, because as you mentioned, right, girl, it always just works out. It really goes back to, like, what do you know about yourself? And one of the things that bubbled up for me with security also was the word trust, and not trust in the organization, but I trust myself. I trust myself that I can make good decisions. I can make decisions on the fly. Right. I have enough experience where I can quickly process what the problem is, come up with different solutions, think about the different people that I can work with in order to come up with whatever the answer is going to be it, I don't like to say right or wrong answer. I like to say the best answer with the information that I have. So I trust that I can do that. And so to your point, even if I don't have experience in it, and even if I have a little bit of doubt, the trust that I have in me is going to give me that little boost, that accelerator, so that I can really go and deliver and show improve. But it all comes back to being secure in kind of who you are, your own foundation, and not looking for that elsewhere. Because if you do, you're going to get the doubt, you're going to get the inexperience, and those things will be louder than the voice that you have in your own head trusting you.
Y'all got something for that, okay? Like, don't play with us, okay? Not play with us. And what, like, I feel like, specifically for this episode, like, I want people to know that, like, that confidence that you are looking for, right? Or that security that you are looking for is already in you. That's one thing I love about our relationship, is like, it has always been like hyping each other up. Like, if your bestie ain't your hype man, like, what are we really doing here? Like, what are we doing? And because as you hype each other up, you each begin to embody that energy even without each other. Right? And so that's the most important thing, because that embodying that energy radiates and attracts the things that you want in your life. That's how Z was able to apply to one school, get into it, get the money. Like, it's just like, it just comes. Like,
right.
It just comes. One of my other friends like to say, like, you are God's favorite. She like to be like, girl, you are God's favorite. And I'd be like, yes, ma'am. Like,
yes, I am. Yes.
Because it's the way I approach situations in my life. I approach them from a position like, I got something for everything. Like, that's just is. Okay.
And is. Yes. I love the part you talking about us hyping each other up, because there will be moments where you can't place that phone call, but I know I can hear your voice in the back of my head.
Yes.
Right? Or like, we haven't kept caught up in 3 months, and you call like, girl, I was in my Zenitra bag, right? Like, yes. I have been channeling all Zenitra. And I'm like, yes, like I wasn't there, but I was there, right? And so having those experiences where you do have those people on your team to really help ground you and secure you and help you remember who you are, that way when you're faced with these challenges or these new situations, you're able to tap into that really quickly. That's what builds your confidence. That's what builds the trust in yourself. But it really does have to come from you. And to your point, you have to put your own battery in your back, your job, to be able to fuel yourself, right? Because you can't always pick up the phone and make that phone call to get that extra support that you need. So I got something for that, meaning like, I know I can do this. I'm gonna pull something out of the bag and make it work.
Yes, yes. So I feel like, what I want y'all to do is share this, right? Drop us a comment if this was helpful, right? But also share this with somebody who you need to remind that they have something for that, right? Like now, it's important. Even if you don't share it with one person, just share it on your page, right? So you can come back and remind yourself later on that you got something for that too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So please make sure you comment, like, share, and let us know what you enjoyed about this. But we'll be back here in 2 weeks with another tip on top of the tip.
Yeah.